Alright, welcome back. Let's start off. You know what? This one's going to be a little different. Let's talk about some deep issues here and topics. This conversation is going to be serious, and it's going to be me talking and you listening. So, I do talk about economics, do I not? I talk about markets and all of that. Now, for a lot of you who follow me on Twitter or in my newsroom, you guys know which side I'm on, what I'm trying to do, which is, I don't know, save us all. For you guys who only watch me on the tube here or anywhere else, on other platforms, I don't really dive deep into current events and issues, mainly because my channel will get removed, right? But you know what? I mean, we're getting to that point where you're either all in or you're not, right? So let's start off with, do you think mining stocks, physical gold, silver, cryptos, any of that's going to save you? Or do you think it's going to make a difference in your life in the future? Do you think you're going to get a better job? Do you think there's any point in advancing your career, building a business? Do you think there's any point in money? Do you think there's any point in having a family? Is there any point in anything anymore? If these people who congregate in Switzerland at the World Economic Forum, pretty much, why do you think they get together? You think it's just dinner parties? Even though, I mean, they do have dinner parties. We're not allowed, right? Again, any point of raising children, having family? You can't even get together anymore, right? You're not allowed. It's curfews, all kinds of... This is a new brave world. Well, they do get together, and what do you think they talk about? Well, they're showing us now. This is them, right? This is what they talk about and plan for us. Because they know better. They know what's best for everyone. You know, a few thousand people in a club. If your like net worth isn't over like $1 billion and you don't have major industry or influence, then you ain't in the club. And you'll never be in the club. Doesn't matter if you go along with their rules and whatnot. There's no selling out. That's all I gotta say. And I'm gonna explain to you. Is there any point in, I don't know, wanting a car, a house? I mean, think of it. Think about it. Everything you want, everything you strive for, your hobbies, religion, whatever you believe in, is there any point to it if they get away with the world they want? Okay, let me break this down. They tell you what you're allowed to own, which is nothing. They tell you where you could go, what you can eat, how many children you could have. Did that in China, right? They tell you they control every little aspect of your life. Can't have meat. You can't practice religion. You can't have money. So that ties into their global centralized cryptocurrencies, right? So even if you make mad gains off of Bitcoin, it's a ledger. They could track you. They'll just come to your door and say, "Well, transfer us everything. If not, you know, go to confinement." Um, there's new technologies coming out, right? They don't need us. There's robotics, 3D printing, crazy AI type algorithms. No office jobs, no lawyers, no accountants, no research analysis for stocks. There's no point of you even trading stocks. I mean, they just, again, they control your money in a cashless society. They just hit a button and it's all gone, or you can't access it. Right? Also in this new world, right? They could put anything they want in your body. Maybe it makes you sick, and they profit off of that too. And you can't say no. Every little thing you do, everything you see. How about this? Everything you see on your screens will be controlled, will be fed to you, will be authorized, right? So therefore, and so will speech. So you can't even say things you want. It's already happening. I hold back. You think I say all the things I want to say? I talk around it. I have to like think of ways to say things not directly, indirectly, right? So when you can't say things and everything you see and all the information you consume is controlled, that's mind control. Okay. What else? You can't, like, literally, I mean, they say you will own nothing and you will be happy. And you probably will be happy, again, because they change reality. They'll even change history. We see it happening right now all over social media, everywhere. Every post you make, it's some authorized person, blue hair, overweight, or I don't even know, will put a sticker on it. This has been disputed. Independent fact checker. Who are these people? Right? So, and it even happens to the president, right? It's hilarious. And people are just going along their day like, oh, everything will be fine. A lot of people are probably finding religion now, but again, praying for someone to save you might not be God's will. Maybe to get through those gates at the end of your life, in the afterlife, you're going to be asked, what did you do? What did you do to stop hell from rising? And if you did nothing except pray and for someone else to do something and help you, well, and I'm not preaching. I haven't heard anyone talk about this quite like this before, ever. And I know about everything that goes on and what everyone talks about at every corner of the internet. The moral of the story is a global consortium elite who believe in evil, literally, okay, they do. I'm not saying you do. I'm saying they do, right? Want to create a world where they take away all of your individuality. Literally. Think about it. They tell you at the microcosm how to live and what you could do, what you could own, what you could strive for, the information you get. They control every little bit of it. You become literally an NPC. Now, what happens when you lose individuality? And that's what socialism and communism does to people. They lose their individuality. I've been to those countries. Nobody talks on the trolleys and on the trains. Nobody talks to each other. They just all look sad. There is no personality. There's nothing unique about anyone. Everyone is gray. No one could speak their thoughts. Now, what happens when that happens? It sucks your soul out of you. Literally. If you lose your individuality, right? Because this is, at the end of the day, there's two types of economies, right? There's a collective economy that's centralized, centrally planned. There's a few people at top tell you how to think, do, and everything, right? They own you. And then there's a free market capitalist society where everyone chooses whatever they want and they do whatever they want, and their future well-being and happiness and individuality and soul is in their own hands. And this is what's at stake. It's not just your financial well-being. It's not just your freedom. It's literally your soul, the light inside you. That's what's at. That's the duality. That's the war. The yin and yang, right? That's why everything's cyclical, fractals. Times get too good, people become decadent, and then guess what happens? The opposite, because everything's a pendulum. It swings back and forth. Okay? Now, why am I even talking about this? Well, last night I get frustrated personally because I'm out there, I show my face, right? I risk everything, literally. And I risk everything, including my life, by sharing information. And that's how bad it is right now. If you're sharing information, you're afraid they're going to come for you. And they will. And that's what sets you free. Well, how does that set you free? Because I see a lot of people who share information in my chat groups, and then I ask them, like, have you shared this anywhere else? Well, no. And these people, they think they're smart. They're like, well, if I do that, they'll come for me. Well, everyone probably thinks, well, that they're gonna come for me first, right? And then you'll know, and then when the right time comes, that's when you'll rise up. Well, that's not gonna happen. You're a coward. If you can't do it now, you sure as hell not gonna do it in the future when things are 10 times scarier and you're shitting your pants. Trust me. But that's not even the point. The point is, I do it now to prevent it, of course, and I risk everything because I know if we don't change course, I'm going to lose everything anyways. And to be honest, again, this always goes back to your soul. I would rather be the first wave. I would rather just die once, not 1,000 times every single day. Because the longer this perpetuates, the more they're sucking the soul out of your body, out of you, literally. So the further we get into this new reset world, right? The more they're literally destroying your soul. That's why everyone needs to reach down their pants and find their kahunas, because I'm telling you, they're really not that. There's nothing to fear. The only thing to fear is to not do anything, because I'm telling you, when the day comes and you reach that afterlife, they're going to ask you, what did you do? At least you could say, hey, I shared information as much as possible. I risked it all. And that's the reason to live in life. All right, guys? That's my theory. But the time was yesterday. Not in a few weeks, not in a few months, not when things get really bad. Like, the further we go down this road, the harder it is to turn around, and that's the truth. And honestly, I am personally starting to just lose faith. I mean, listen, the orange guy, bad or good, it doesn't even matter at the end of the day. They're making their move now. It's out in the open, and unfortunately, most people don't get it. And in the darkest times, they will find faith or whatever, but by then it's too late. I mean, you haven't done anything to turn the tide, right? So I would rather not be alive than be in a hive mind, or the world they want for us. And trust me, it will be. I mean, you're literally already in hell at that point. And we're getting close to it right now. I mean, a lot of people already are there, mentally at least. I mean, they're locking down again. Curfew's at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Well, why? Does it come out at night? Like the cold? Like, I'm not surprised by the evil or anything like that. Everyone's been warned all their lives about it. I'm surprised at the inaction of people and the fear. People who are cowardice, they're selfish. That's all it is. You're just selfish if you're afraid. Alright? And that's all I have. Let's look into the charts. Okay, so I thought last week the correction's coming, and it should. First of all, not financial advice. Consult your licensed financial advisor. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Stocks, everything, extremely volatile, extremely risky. Do not invest in anything you're not willing to lose or lose sleep over. Well, gold's at 1880. The dollar is at 92.5 handle, still sitting right below support, just hanging on by a thread. Rates popped up pretty high. I mean, not really, but they went from all-time low of the 10-year rate from 0.51 to 0.92. I think everything would implode if it just went literally to 2%. And everything would start falling apart. Stock market would be tanking by 1.45 or 1.5 percent interest rate for the 10-year. Volatility index just keeps getting slammed. It's at 22.71, but historically, at a historic perspective, it's still kind of high. Here's the S&P 500 monthly chart. We're sitting at 3,600. We hit all-time highs. Let's look at the daily. We hit an all-time high last week at 3649. All right, here's the S&P 500 on the monthly chart. We're on a 6 count out of 9. At a 9, we usually see a correction, or there's a high probability of it, or soon after, right? So technically 7, 8, 9, 3 to 4 more months of upside possibly on the monthly time frame. This is trend following. Let's take a look at the weekly. We start going down in smaller time frames to give us a better perspective. Let's take a look at the 3 week. Sometimes that gives you but here's the thing. The 3 week, we had a sell 9 the last 3 weeks. We're on this. So let's take a look at the RSI is high. The momentum oscillators are pretty tapped out on the 3 week time frame. Nobody looks at the 3 week, but it's not bad. Let's take a look at the 1 week. Well, the 3 count, so if this week doesn't trade higher than last week, the all-time high of 36.49, then we don't get a 3 count in a row trading above each other. But we probably will, because Powell came out and spoke today, and he literally said we're just going to keep printing as long as the cove sticks around, which they're going to make it stick around forever, the rest of your life. So there's basically these lockdowns, and control is forever because they don't want us to be free, of course, right? It's the reset. Anyways, but yeah. Let's take a look at the 3-day. We're on a 4 count. 4 and 5 counts tend to dip below the 3 count, and then it goes higher into a 9 count. So it's still bullish on the 3-day. RSI is really tapped out on the daily, though. There's so much conflicting time frames in TA. Everything's conflicting because it's manipulated, because they keep printing. I mean, listen, we could just literally be at the point of Venezuela where they keep printing money, and then the market just keeps going higher and higher into a parabolic move up, right? Well, maybe Apple will let us know. You know what? We might not get a correction because we have the holidays coming up, even though they're canceled, but they still expect people to shop. 4 hourly is tapped out on Apple. Just real quick, I want to look at Apple. Because it's such heavily weighted in everyone's retirement. I don't know. Here's the NASDAQ composite. It's on a 7 count on the monthly, so 2 more months of possible upside. Let's look at the weekly. It's neutral. Let's look at the daily. It's neutral. Now, I do realize that all the major indices pretty much have some sort of flag, but it's also like a pennant, right? And then here we have a pennant. And if it breaks, basically, if this week or next week breaks higher, makes a new high, we're just going to go higher for a few more months, possibly. Now, what may happen is, though, it all, you know, the orange guy, he also matters. And if he could pull a Hail Mary and change the outcome of this stolen, you know, electoral process. I have to be careful what I say. Then the market might actually dump Why? Because less stimulus will happen under his watch. And Judy Shelton, who was the new Fed candidate of the orange guy, right, to be in the board of electors for the Federal Reserve, she's a gold bug, and the Senate just denied her that. Why? Well, because they all want the Burr machine to be on overdrive. That's why. On both sides of the aisle, politically, to be honest, they're all the same. The only difference was this time that we had the orange guy, but I don't know if he's going to be able to pull this off. I really don't know. It looked good for a while, and now it's like, well, if you don't come out with some crazy evidence, then it's not looking good. Here's the euro versus the dollar. I have a lot of euro viewers. I mean, it's above my range here, right? You have to understand that all these major economies, like the U.S., the euro, and then the Asians, they take turns on when they turn on the printing presses or central banks. It's like they all call each other, or get on a phone call or Skype. They're like, all right, well, this month you do it, and the next month I'll do it. And that's how they do a managed slow motion decline of all fiat currencies around the world. So people don't realize that inflation is rising for everyone. The cost of living is rising for everyone. Again, the DXY, that doesn't measure inflation against real things like food, utilities, metals, products, and energy costs, right? I have a feeling the Fed hasn't done anything in a while, in like a quarter, so the euro might actually break out a little higher, and then it'll fall back into this range going into later parts of 2021. Now, in 2021, the Fed's probably going to print another like 10 trillion or something, because you have to understand, it needs an ever-increasing amount of fiat to keep the giant debt bubble inflated. And again, I tweeted out, this was a good tweet, I don't remember it exactly, but I said, listen, the US is screwed. I mean, after 2020, we lost like more than half of our small businesses. If we do another lockdown, we're going to lose them all. And our entire economy is just financialized. And everything that's financialized is just worthless paper, Ponzi scheme money, credit, and government spending. And that's it. And then big tech. Like, that's not even an economy. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be bad. Like, people really need to go peacefully protest, because they do it again. They do it this winter. I mean, there is no coming back, like, probably in our lifetimes. Seriously. And, people who call for like physical violence, those people who always call for it, let me tell you, they've never seen it in their lives. Okay? Just keep that in mind when you come across people like that. They've never actually been in it or seen it. They haven't been to war or anything. So, what was it, Belgium or something? Pots and pans, they kept like hitting them for like weeks and days or something. And then they finally said, all right, we won't do you got to do what you can peacefully as long as humanly possible. At some point, everyone's going to be starving, and then the real stuff kicks off. But I don't think we're there yet. Not yet, but probably next summer. Who knows? If you saw my Twitter, it's just lines for like miles and miles and miles of cars going to food banks, and that's in the U.S. In third world and second world, who knows what's going on there? Maybe a lot of them never even locked down or anything. They're fine. But some of them who depended on the first world to feed them, like in the continent of Africa, millions are probably have already not lived. Here's the mini light crude oil futures. I mean, energy is not going to bounce if they do another lockdown. Also, as the economy gets really, really bad, energy won't recover. The only reason the price of oil and everything will go up is because many of these producers will go out of business and there'll only be a couple suppliers, and the value of your currency is just going to keep falling. And then in real terms, I guess the value of the energy goes up. Maybe some of the stocks of the companies that do survive will go up, but it's not easy picking them. It's probably the biggest ones, but I'm not confident in that, right? Here's the dollar versus crude, WTI, same thing. So most of the oscillators for all the major indices around the world, the momentum is high, and it's been high because the markets have been going up all summer, all fall now. Russell 2000 on the weekly is on a 9 count. And usually the Russell, it'll fall before the rest of the market. It's maybe a few weeks early, but again, looking at those previous charts, right now I'm not sure what to think, because I feel like the Fed's about to come out and but they're also waiting for the final election results, right? So it's still going to come down to that. If the orange guy loses, they'll pump the market up a little bit longer, but there's huge gaps in the market. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Well, before I talk about those gaps, let's just take a look at the FANG index. Looks like the S&P 500. I mean, the FANG stocks are basically half of the S&P 500 at this point. So and the Nasdaq, like they all look the same. Just looks like sort of a bull flag, but with a pennant, a bullish pennant to the upside. Give me a second. All right, here's platinum. Historic all-time lows. If you have patience for the next 5 years or so or something, this might be a good one to hold. I'm not talking the physical metal. I'm talking, well, maybe. I don't know. If you have a ton of money, you could put a ton of money in one little ounce. But stock-wise, which I do release, what I will be releasing for I think I already released something, but I'll release a final report for the private members. It's energy, Tesla, looks like the FANGs and the Nasdaq. All right, before I talk about gold, let's just take a look at the S&P one more time and take a look at these gaps I want to talk about because it's important. This is a weekly chart. So, gaps, pockets of air, basically. That's what I'm hinting towards. Where if the market starts correcting, it'll be free fall in these areas, which could accelerate the free fall and give you a real nice correction, sharp, like 20% correction or something. But between these air pockets or gaps, there's support and resistance. So these rectangles I'm drawing are the... Let's make them... What color should I make them? I'll make them white. Here. So you can see that. Let's make another one. Oh, hold on. Why is it doing that? Alright, give me a second. Alright, so here's one gap, air pocket. Here's another one. But the biggest air pocket is actually right here. Let's say below the 200-week moving average to my blue line. It's kind of hard to see because I have so many drawings. Right here, let me zoom in. So these are just air pockets. So if we get a correction below 32.50, it could accelerate easily all the way down to like 2,573 on the S&P 500, which would give you a nice correction of like 30%. Now here's the thing though, that's if we get a correction like now or soon, which I don't know yet. The market could just kind of trade sideways, maybe retest 3,500, then go higher for the next like month or 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 at the most. But eventually, I mean, I think it really comes down to election results, which I did go on that website and I betted. I made a bunch of bets. Alright, let's take a look at gold. Gold is actually the most interesting. Then I'll talk about Bitcoin because everyone keeps asking and it has been going up. Well, this bull flag, it's still in play. It's being created. And you know, the longer and more the longer the bull flag is made, or let's say the flag part is the longer it is, or the more time the price bounces around within this flag, the better the upside will be when it does break out. And when it breaks out, it's really sharp and quick. And most of the gains in the mining stocks are made in a few months. And then most of the year, they just trade sideways or down. So this was the last bull flag, right? You know, it did nothing for a while from April 14th until June 20th. So this one's taking some time, but I have a feeling we have a few more months, probably maybe till 2021, and then we'll the price will probably test this major support before we see a reversal and another huge rally and rebound to make new all-time highs, which will be later in 2021, probably end of winter, maybe spring, when the Fed is starting to panic because the economy is so screwed. Especially if they keep locking everything down. You know, they're gonna print so much. It's gonna be unbelievable. Like, people are actually gonna feel it. Normies are gonna be like, "What's going on? Why is bread $10?" Okay, so I think we have a few more weeks and then it's time to load up. I'm gonna have a huge sale probably this week, and it'll be exciting. We're gonna relive last spring and summer, or this year's spring and summer. We're gonna relive it again, guys, and this time it's probably gonna be even better. And we had a bunch of stocks that went up 100%, 500%, this and that. And there's plenty of, and a lot of them have already corrected by a lot, like some of them 50, 60%. So not only are you going to get back that 50, 60% if you accumulate again, right? Especially if you got out when I told you you should be sitting on a lot of cash and you buy back those stocks, you're going to gain another 50, 60, 70, 80, or 200%, whatever, and then more, right? And then you get that life-changing wealth transfer, one in a lifetime opportunity. It's just that you have to be patient. Okay? Patience is what is the difference between someone who makes it in the markets and someone who doesn't. That's all it is. Alright guys, smash some likes, leave anything in the comment section, share my videos, the only way my channel grows, and I'll continue to do this. Find me on all platforms, look at all the links below my videos. I have a free newsroom, free chat groups, and then I have the paid membership for a community that just discusses stocks and all kinds of crazy crap. Alright guys, until next time.